CQ40, CQ40, CQ40 meters, CQ 40 meters. Here's kilowatt 0, radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ 40 meters, CQ 40 meters, kilowatt 0, radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, any station, anywhere. I heard a Whiskey 8 station. Try it again, please.
Whiskey 8, Mike, Uniform Golf.
Whiskey 8, Mike, Uniform Golf. Good evening, Jim. Thanks for coming back to the CQ to handle his Randy. And we are 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Looks like we've worked about, 4 or 5 days ago. How are you doing this evening? Go ahead.
We're doing pretty good. Yeah, that's correct. We worked on the 22nd here in Kansas City, Missouri. Doing good today. We were out playing Bill Murray. You remember Bill Murray in Caddyshack? He was going after, declared war on the gophers. I declared war on the moles. So I was out burying poison worms today.
Well, that's terrific, Jim. Glad to hear it. The war on the gophers and the moles. I certainly know that. My own experience here at my QTH. So I'm hope you get ahead of them for sure. No doubt. Well, we have a little question that we're doing tonight on the live stream, Jim. And the question that we're going to ask everybody is, have you tried FT8? Why did you, or why haven't you done it there? Go ahead.
Well, that's a negative on the FT8, and the reason we haven't is we just don't know enough about it. We haven't gotten into the digital. I've only had my license since October, and I'm looking at you, Jeff, and I guess I'm going to wait until I run into somebody in the local area that is into FT8, and then latch on to them as a mentor.
Well, I tell you, that's a pretty good answer. That's the thing we're going to try to see what kind of responses we can get tonight. And we've tried it a little bit off and on here for maybe 15 or 20 minutes at a time. And for me, the jury's still out. It is a little different, of course. It needs a computer to, I think, to work like it's supposed to, and I'm not really sure the jury's still out on my side, but we've had some comments and some good stories about it over the last couple of weeks, Jim. So we decided tonight that's kind of we'll kind of make that the main topic, other than see how everybody else is doing. You know how this works. We're doing that live stream, of course. But we thought we'd just kind of give it a go and see what people think, if they're using it or are not. And there is no correct answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just your answer there, Roger.
Roger that, Randy. Yep, I'm sure I'll get into it one of these days. Over.
Yeah, like I said, I've messed around with it a little bit. I've used it a little bit on my ICOM 7300, and I've used it here on this rig here, the FTDX10, and a little bit different setups to get to it on both. We're using the same software, and like I said, we're just kind of getting into it as well. I'm not really sure what all the numbers and pluses and minuses and what have you mean, but I think the thing is telling me we're making contact. I got to do a little more research myself. But we thought that might be a good question to ask everybody tonight. So that's just how it works. So other than playing gopher, hopefully you guys haven't got any bad weather or haven't had any snow. We had some stations last night, northern Michigan and Wisconsin. They had some snow the other day, and still pretty cold. Hopefully you're getting some springtime over in your direction there, Roger.
Yeah, roger that. It was a beautiful day today. The sun was out, and it got up to 82 degrees, and with low humidity, so it was very good. But the rain's heading our way. In the Midwest, they're experiencing storms, and I think it's supposed to come through here tomorrow night, and into people need the rain. Sometimes you get too much rain all at once, and that can be bad. And of course, we're subject to tornadoes here in Ohio when the bad weather meets other bad weather, and it accumulates. But hopefully, the storm that's going to go through won't be that bad.
Yeah, it doesn't sound much different than what we have here. I know we just started here about 5 minutes ago, and so you're the first one tonight. Appreciate that. And I do hear some static crashes out in the distance on my receive. We do know the storms are heading our direction, and if it starts to get a little worse, we'll just shut down, unplug, and hope for the best. We don't want to take any chances with the equipment and what have you. That's probably like most people, but at the meantime, it's kind of holding itself off a little bit, but we'll see where it goes. But we do know it's out there, but we kind of moved our things around on the radio so we can hear a little better and give you a good signal report, Jim. I've got you at 5 and 5, 5 and 6. They're pretty good. And when the static crashers are gone, you got good audios before, and it's nice to hear you out there again as well. Of course, not a long distance between you and me in Dayton and Kansas City, but it's always nice to make them contacts there. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. You were coming in 10 over 9, and the dam's kind of up and down tonight. You were getting down as low as 7, but very clear signal tonight. We'll let you go there and let you move on to your next contact, Rick. Good evening. 73.
Hey, Jim, thanks for giving us a call there. Appreciate the first one tonight, and nice a chance to work you again. I'm really glad that you did come back and answer my CQ. I do appreciate it, and hopefully the gopher hunting will go well, and the moles for you as well. And like I said before, you hear us out there, give us a shout back, and we'll just see how things are going. Hey, be safe and be well on a Tuesday evening. And hope the rest of the week goes well for you. And as always, you hear us again, give us a call. Thank you, Jim. You take care. Whiskey 8, Mike Uniform Golf, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, 7-3s.
7-3.
Okay, K0 RWB, Reigning Kansas City, QRZ. Any other stations? Come with your call, please. Hit the bottom of the barrel. This is Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City, calling CQ. CQ on 40 meters. Any stations anywhere. Come with your call sign, please. CQ40, CQ40 meters, CQ40, CQ40 meters, CQ40, CQ40 meters. Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ on 40, CQ 40 meters, CQ, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ, any stations anywhere.
Kilo Bravo 0.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Hotel Papa.
Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Hotel Papa. That sounds like Melissa. Good evening, how are you?
I'm doing great, how are you?
Oh my goodness, I tell you, if I was doing any better, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. How's that for an answer?
Excellent, sounds good to me.
Well, so how are things up in the Fairfield area there? Go ahead.
It's pretty smoky outside. It's good. It's nice to have some warm weather for a change. How about you?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting to the point where we come real close to turning the air conditioner on today. And that that just tells you it's gone from short or sweatshirts and coats to T-shirts and shorts kind of almost overnight. So it's something to get used to, but we do like it there, Roger.
Roger, Roger. We're in Ohio. We have all 4 seasons in one day.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? You know, if you don't like it, wait 20 minutes. It'll change for you, no doubt. And what we do, Melissa, I don't see a contact here. We do this on a daily basis during the week. We come out here, we call CQ Make Contacts. We're also live streaming on YouTube. So if you're interested in listening to the QSO on the playback, see how you sound on the air, you can go to YouTube, put in my call, or you can go to my QRZ page. I've got a link, and you could click on that and listen to it as well. About 10 minutes in is about what we just started. And the other thing we're doing tonight, we're asking everybody, have you tried FT8? And if you haven't, why not? If you have, why did you do it?
That sounds excellent. I will make sure that I play that recording over and over so my husband can hear me all day long.
Well, that's terrific. I'm glad to hear that. We're having a lot of fun with it, and I know others have as well. And we do have people that had come back and check in with us, pretty much during the week and so forth. And again, we don't have that much of an opportunity to hear ourselves on the air, and this is one option we can do that. So you get to actually hear what you sound like on the receive side versus headphones or a speaker or what have you. We didn't invent this, of course. We aren't the first, and we won't be the last. But I think for right now, the only one I know that's here in the Midwest is me. There is a friend of mine down in Mississippi, but I think so far we're the one doing it and having a great time with it as well. There, Roger.
Roger, that sounds fun. And FT8, I have not tried that. I am a brand new ham. I've only been on for a couple of months over.
Oh, well, that's great. Well, congratulations and welcome to the hobby. I think that's awesome. And, it's just something that we've had comments on the last several weeks and what have you. So I decided to kind of take a poll, so to speak, to see if who has used FT8 and who hasn't. I've done it a little bit here and there, 15, 20 minutes at a time, and the jury's still out. It is kind of neat somewhat. Having the computer do most of the work, and I'm just clicking a mouse, it can go either direction, but we just thought we're kind of like taking a poll, and we're going to tabulate this at the end of the night and just kind of see what responses we get. But again, this is nothing but making contacts, having fun, sharing information, sharing some great stories, information we can pass on to other hams, and we have fun in the process, sir. Roger?
Roger, that sounds fun, and I'm glad you're doing it for the community so everybody can see. So much appreciated, and I'm going to jump off of here unless you get to somebody else, and 73.
Well, thank you very much, Melissa, for the first contact as well. Again, we do this on a nightly basis here on 40 meters during the week. So if you're out and about or if you hear us back out again, by all means, give us a call, and we'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. Congratulations again. Welcome to the hobby. You're going to find, if you haven't already, the nicest people in the world. It's really a terrific hobby, and we're having a great time with it as well. Be safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening and a good week ahead, and hope to work you again real soon. Kilo Echo 8, Romeo Hotel Papa, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. Thanks again, 7-3s. Okay, we'll go ahead and clear with Melissa. And I did hear a Kilo Bravo station out in the distance. Come back with your call, please.
Kilo Bravo 0, Tango, Lima.
Kilo Bravo 0, Tango, question mark.
Kilo Bravo 0, Tango, Lima.
I got but the one in between, Tango, question mark, Lima. They had a static crash hit you at the same time. Oh, I should have known that, Sebastian. What was I thinking?
Randy, is that you?
That is me. I figured you would have looked up my call sign first. Well, long time no hear, neighbor.
Getting you down again in Bay City. Well, hello. About this FT8 stuff. I was meaning to give it a try. But I haven't gotten around to it yet. But this little SDR radio, I might just have to there. Over.
Okay, yeah, well, that's good. Like I said, I've done it a little off and on, 15, 20 minutes at a time over the last week or so. I've done it off on the 7300, and I've done it off this FTDX10 as well. It takes a little difference to get to it based on what rig we're using, and yeah, it's interesting. For me, the jury's still out, but I know there's been a lot of talk about it, and there's been some questions and so forth. So we thought this evening, while we're doing the live stream, that we would try to see if what people think about it there, Roger.
Yeah, I would very much like to give it a try. It's just very astounding to me that, hey, I can set a computer up, just interlink to the output ports of my radio and the input ports of my radio, and just click a mouse and have the radio make umpteen million contacts and kind of get a propagation map of where my signal's going. Now, while I'm giving it a try yet, I most definitely would love to give it a try.
Well, I think that's great, Sebastian. And by all means, let us know what you think about it. Again, I know some that seem to enjoy it, and some others are still kind of up in the air. But you don't know, until you try it. So we wanted to do that. I can't really talk about it unless I've tried it myself, and I have. But we'll still playing around with it. It might be, something that you can do while you're actually doing something else, so to speak. I couldn't sit there and watch the screen all day. At least I haven't been able to so far. But it is something that I think might have a place for an amateur radio. Roger?
Roger. I couldn't agree more. And it's hardly odd for me to try new things. So I may have to give it a try here.
Yeah, well, that's great, Sebastian. Glad to hear it. And it looks like it's... if I remember right, let's see, back end of February, so just about, 2 months ago since I've got a log contact with you. So I'm sure you've been out and about. We just probably miss each other here and there. And the reason it's so hard to hear each other is we're only about 6 miles away, so I'm not surprised there. Go ahead.
Roger. Yeah, 20 meters, that's 40 meters rather, 6 miles, yeah, quite a little 40. It's a hard hit because the signal wants to ship, but it's already way up in the air, and you're just hearing a small piece of it. Over.
Yeah, it's going to be a struggle, but we're making it so far. But it seemed like I got the Kilo Bravo Zero Tango, and then the crashes kept getting us in there, and it didn't ring a bell on the rest of the call until I got it. And then once I saw it when I pulled it up, and I realized who it was. But we got it in there this time, so not a problem. Hey, we're going to move on down here so we can make a few others tonight, Sebastian. But thanks for giving us a call, and thanks for your input on FT8. I really do appreciate that. And we're going to kind of see how it plays out the rest of the evening. But again, you know how to get a hold of me. We're good in QRZ. Anything I can help with, you send me an email. And nice to work you in Green Valley this evening. So you be safe and be well, Sebastian, and I know we'll have a chance to work again. Kilo Bravo Zero, Tango Lima, Kilowatt Zero Radio, Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again, Sebastian. 7-3.
7-3.
Okay, Kilowatt Zero Radio, Whiskey Bravo, QRZ, any stations anywhere.
Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu Whiskey.
Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu Whiskey. Good evening, Craig. How are you?
Good evening. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, my gosh, what a great day. We got sunshine, a little windy, and but we're not going to complain. We'll take the weather the way it comes to us. That's about it on our end here. But again, the name Randy, the QTH, we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and I looked you up there. You're a little bit north of Cincinnati. Is that a Roger?
Roger. I did look you up your QRZ page, Randy, so I seen your setup, your antenna. Your antenna's nice. I must say I do like that. Over.
Well, we've been real fortunate with the beam. It's been up since we put it in service in 2012, and we tilt it over once a year just for inspection purposes and what have you. And it's quite a little workhorse, no doubt. And then we've got the 40-meter dipole, which we're on right now off the side of the tower, and we've got an 80-meter dipole on the other side of it. And, so far so good. Everything's working like it should there. Roger?
Roger. I understand. Yeah, I saw you're running a DX10, too. That's the receiver I have. How do you like it?
Well, I tell you what, it's been about 2.5 months now, and we're still getting to know each other. But what I know so far, I'm not giving it back. And I'm certainly not trading it in. I have a 7300 as well, 2 great rigs. One's more of a price point, and one's a little bit newer, so to speak. They both operate quite well. I think the 7300 is a little easier to set up audio-wise than this. But once you get this dialed in, I mean, it'll sit back and sing. A terrific receiver. It really hasn't gotten overloaded yet with nearby signals, at least in my circumstance. And I really do like having the external monitor feature. We do the live stream here on YouTube, and we can take the display and put it up on YouTube. So you see the same screen that I see on the radio, and I do like having that external monitor. Roger?
I do like that feature too. I'm not using it yet, but I do like it. And like you said, they're not getting this receiver back from me. I'm very happy with it. We have the radio club that I'm a member of, Westchester Amateur Radio. They have a ICOM 7300, and I've used it there. But I tell you, I really do like the ACDX, and I'm very happy with it. Over.
Yeah, they did a home run, I think, when they came up with the 991 Alpha. That was a really good all-mode radio. And, we had the older version of we had the FT950 that we bought new in 12. And we do realize there's been some advancements in receive and transmit technology, and that's what kind of pushed us over to the 7300. We knew we were going to use that later on for portable work and as a backup station as well. And then when we had the opportunity to get this, we jumped on it, and we're really glad that they came up with this. That and the 101D and the MP are all a terrific setup. I'd be curious on your microphone. We have this rig paired with a Heil PR781. We don't run any mic EQ with it, and we run the AMC at about 55 and the processing at about 20. So we don't run it too hard. We kind of let the microphone and the radio do their job. Go ahead.
Yeah, I copy you. I also am running the same microphone. I have the mic EQ on and the mic gain set at 30. I have the processor off right now, and the AMC level is 50. I did some adjusting to some of the frequencies, the crossover points you can do in the menu from another YouTube channel that I saw. But this is my first day with this microphone. I actually just hooked it up today, so it'll be interesting to see how good it sounds.
Yeah, you should. Like I said, we're doing the live stream, so you get a chance to listen to the playback. I would certainly do that. Well, I've got a good friend of mine down in Knoxville that is running the new 101, and we talked briefly on the air, and he's running a PR40, and it sounds terrific. And I asked Terrence, I said, could I copy your settings? So we ended up having a phone call, and while we were on the phone, I was going to the menus and making the changes. So this is basically the 101 settings that he have in his rig. I made one little change on the mid-levels, not really a lot, but for me it was just enough to maybe kind of give it a little bit more fidelity. And this is what you get. And the reason I leave it like this is after each live stream, I go back and listen to the majority of the sessions, so to speak. And when I hear myself, that's exactly how I am in person. I don't hear any of the processing or any of the other stuff that doesn't sound natural. So this is what I sound like to myself in person. That's about as close as you're going to get there, Roger.
QSL, yeah, you sound really good, real clean. Your voice sounds really natural. There's nothing unnatural about the way you sound. Do you do this once a week? Did you say? I thought I copied you saying you do this once a week.
No, we try to do this on a nightly basis during the week. We don't have the opportunity on the weekends on most times. We had been doing our live stream up on 20 meters in the afternoons, but the band has really not been in our favor the last couple of weeks. So this is our third week here on 40 meters, and I really don't think I'm going to be moving anywhere because I tell you what, we've had just a wonderful amount of conversations, great QSOs, wonderful information, terrific stories that operators are giving to us. We're trying to share information as it comes available to us and so forth, and everybody has been very respectful of each other's time and what have you, and I think this is where we're going to end up staying. So we try to start about 7 o'clock Central, and we'll run for a few hours until the band dies or I get a tap on the shoulder from the YL. The only downside on the live stream is there's a webcam that's pointed right at me, so you have to listen and see where I'm at there, Roger.
Over, I copy. Yeah, are you going to do this on the same frequency, 7.223?
No, I tell you what, the way this works is I try to be a good steward of amateur radio. I find a spot that doesn't bother anybody else. And it could be here, it could be anything else in between. I'm not a fan of sitting on top of a frequency necessarily if there's people around. So I'll move around to where it's not going to bother any other operators, and hope that people will be able to track us. The biggest thing I can tell you is if you are interested in coming back and listen to it again, you can subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Basically, you know how that works. It just lets you know when I'm live again, and just kind of see, where it is and the frequency. So no, there isn't anything set in stone. We're just trying to find an open spot and work it from there.
No, that makes perfect sense. It's very respectful. I understand that. It makes all the sense in the world. But I know you got a bunch of people that want to talk to. I heard some other people calling in. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go and say 73. So Kilo 0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo. This is Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zulu Whiskey, and I'll be looking for you later.
Yeah, that sounds good, Craig. Thank you so much. And if you go to the playback, probably fast forward to about 23 minutes in, 23 minutes in. That's about where we started on the QSO. And give a look and a listen and see how you sound on the air. Nobody's going to know your voice better than you. In the meantime, be safe and be well. Have a great Tuesday. Thank you for giving us a call. I didn't see a contact in the log, so we do thank you very much for that. And I hope you have a good week. And by all means, you hear us again, stop in any time. We'll just pick it up where we left off. Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu Whiskey, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks again, 7-3s. Okay, this is K0, RWB, QRZ. The other stations, come with your call, please.
Whiskey Foxtrot 0 Mike.
Whiskey Foxtrot 0 Mike. Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing great. Can I get your call sign one more time? I know we've talked once before, and I'd like to make sure I get your call sign in my log.
Oh, no problem. Be happy to do it. Kilowatt 0, red, white, and blue. RWB, Romeo Whiskey Bravo.
Very good. You're sounding great tonight. I got you practically 5859 here in Colorado tonight.
Yeah, I think if I remember right, we probably worked around the first of the month, thereabouts. I've got a couple others. There's one there in Thornton. I've talked with Mark quite often. He's a little bit southeast of you. And I've got several. My friend that's up in, we'll just say Fort Collins. He's in Severance, which is just east of there. And another friend of mine also that's in the southern part of Fort Collins. So, and then we got 2 or 3 stations in Colorado Springs. So we've got the whole front range covered. And it helps because I used to live there as well. So I can just about tell where everybody's at there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I recognize some of those names, not all of them, but definitely some of them. And I do recall that you saying that you lived in the area, so you know it pretty well. Yeah, I'm in Broomfield here, which is between Boulder and Denver. I'm sure you know the area well. And I'm actually transmitting on somewhat of a new antenna tonight. I've got a flagpole antenna. I live in a suburban community, HOA restricted, and I got a new flagpole antenna erected, and wonder how my signal's sounding.
You're 5.9 plus 10, and the audio is extremely clean and clear with a lot of nice fidelity. And we've got your page pulled up, and I assume that's the shack setup that you've got there. I do see one radio I've recognized, a 7300, and possibly a 7610 as well. Roger?
Yeah, Roger. The one that looks like a 7300 is actually a 9700. They're pretty hard to tell the difference. And then my HF rig is a 7610, and just recently added Elecraft APA 1500 amp. So I'm putting out about 1,000 watts right now.
That's terrific. Oh, it's a terrific signal. Again, I had no idea when we started this a couple of weeks ago on 40 meters that we would be getting into Colorado on a nightly basis. And I'm all for it. I mean, it's really nice to talk back home, so to speak. Again, this isn't our first time as well. I'm probably stuff that we've already covered. But yeah, it's really nice to hear stations in Colorado. And all the ones I've been able to talk with back and forth have all had great signals and wonderful audio. And I think part of it's probably 40 meters because just about 99% of the time, the other stations that call in around the country also have great signals and wonderful audio. So it makes it a lot of fun in the evenings there. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger that. This 40-meter band is really nice in the evenings, especially as the sun just starts to come down the gray line. And I'm not all that I'm fairly new to amateur radio, to be honest with you, and haven't had that much time in it. And just enjoying learning the hobby and getting to talk to all kinds of really cool people on the airwaves.
Yeah.
Foxtrot Zero Mike.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. And one of the questions that I'm asking everybody tonight is, have you tried FT8, and why did you? Or if you haven't, why haven't you tried it? And there's no correct answer; it's just your answer. And we're just kind of curious, kind of write down some information to see what people think. We've tried it off and on here the last couple of weeks, 15, 20 minutes at a time, and the jury's still out, but we'd like to have your thoughts as well there. Go ahead.
Yeah, FT8 is wonderful. I have tried it, and actually I got my logbook of the world, worked all states, probably within about 30 days using FT8. It's amazing how well those signals travel, and really enjoy the mode. Actually, I got my first DX ever with FT8, and really my only DX is on FT8. I can't wait to have a DX on phone one of these days, but FT8, once you get it set up and working, is a lot of fun, and sometimes you can do it and multitask. So I really like those aspects of it as well.
You know, I've heard that another station I've talked to quite a bit in New York does FT8, and he says that he uses FT8 while he's doing other things in the shack or working on other aspects on his computer or whatever, and will glance over from time to time. He doesn't constantly sit and look at it all the time. So that sounds like a kind of a common theme. And I guess the other thing I'd kind of find out is how hard was it for you to get it set up to get it working?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I use this thing called WJTX-J, I think it is, and there's some pretty good instructions for how to get it set up. I did run into an issue trying to get it to sync with my logger, but I got past that, and so now pretty much it automatically logs every contact I make, and it's really nice and easy to use.
Oh, very good. And what logging program do you use for that?
I use the DX Keeper, part of DX Suite set of software, and it works really nice. Oh,
well, that's really good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I haven't gotten that far on logging. I have this little screen that pops up, and I just hit OK, and then later on I go back and look up the call and then fill in the blank, so to speak. Again, we haven't done it too much. We've done it on our 7300, and we've also had it set up on our on this rig here, the FTDX10. And there's certainly a lot different on how to get to it between the rigs. The ICOM is a lot simpler with this new firmware update to have it set up for FT8. And the Yaesu, maybe it's me, there was a firmware update a couple of weeks ago, but there's a few more steps you've got to go through. And yeah, again, we're just kind of playing around with it, and the jury's kind of out, but that's the theme tonight, to see what other people think about FT8. So I certainly appreciate your input there, Roger.
Oh, well, yeah, thanks for asking. Like I said, FT8, it's really fun doing DX, and I enjoy it a lot. Anyway, Whiskey Foxtrot, Zero Mike, back to you.
Oh, that's terrific. And so tell me on the flagpole antenna, front yard or backyard?
It's actually in the front yard, and I've got an eye on it right now. I have a monitor that I'm able to look at it while I'm transmitting, and I don't want somebody walking up to it while I'm transmitting, so I keep an eye on it while I transmit.
Oh, I think that's great, and I would assume the neighbors are no more wiser than just having a flagpole in the front yard. And that's a great thing about the antenna. I've known several down in Florida that deal with the same situation you described, and they seem to work quite well. I'm really impressed of how the antenna performs. It's a great idea for folks who had limited, residential space and the HOAs and so forth. Roger?
Yeah, roger that. I actually got permission from the HOA to put up a 24-foot flagpole, and as far as they know, that's all it is, but it serves double duty. If you look close enough, you can see the radials kind of buried down in my grass, and as the grass greens up here and starts to grow, they'll get hidden even more, and so nobody should know.
Yeah, I think that's great. We pulled the page up, and we're scrolling through your pictures on how you got your setup. And that's terrific. Again, really nice page. You didn't put that together in 5 minutes, so we know you definitely took some time to do it, and it's a really nice page to look at. And we made sure that we let others look at it as well. So it's a pretty neat deal. And again, we're really interested to see what other operators' take is on the FT8 tonight. So Mike, we do appreciate that and all the information that you did provide for us. That's pretty cool. And yeah, again, don't be a stranger. If you hear us out here again, give us a call, and we'll just kind of see where things at that time. But congratulations on getting the flagpole up, man. It sounds really good in my receive. And of course, you can always go back and listen to it later if you'd like as well. But yeah, it's really good. The audio is really nice and clear as well. Hey, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening and the rest of the week as well. And by all means, stop in again. Always a pleasure to talk to the Front Range. You know that. I really do enjoy it. Whiskey Foxtrot Zero Mike, Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, sir. Have a good evening.
Oh, thank you. And 73s to you as well. I always enjoy talking to you, Randy. Have a great evening. Kilo Zero Romeo Whiskey Bravo. This is Whiskey Foxtrot Zero Mike Clear.
All right, 73. Saying QRZ. Any other stations? Come back with your call, please.
Kilo Charlie 8.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Whiskey Charlie Delta.
Okay, I got a Whiskey Alpha 4, and there was a Kilo Charlie 8 station. The Kilo Charlie 8, if you would go, please give me your full call.
Kilo Charlie number 8 Lima Alpha Portable.
Kilo Charlie 8 Lima Alpha Portable. Hey, Glenn, how are you this evening?
All right, how you doing, Randy? I was listening there, and love to have one of those radios. It really sounds good here. I'm about 75 to 100 miles east of my location there, a little town called Berlin, Ohio, and doing some RVing here, and heard you, thought I'd stop in.
Oh, I'm glad you did, Glenn. Great. Hey, the audio is just tremendous. Your signal's about 5 and 7. Of course, we don't run any preamp, and I tell everybody every time we talk, I don't put a big stock in the number. I listen to the audio, and that's what really does come across. The audio is doing quite well, and portable work. So let me guess, is it 100 watts in a wire?
Well, it actually is 100 watts and a wire, but it's in vertical configuration. It's 34-foot vertical on the back of the RV here.
Oh, that's terrific. And what's the rig and the microphone? Because you sound terrific.
Well, this is the baby brother to the one you are talking on. This is the 891 with the stock microphone.
Wow, that's terrific. Well, it sounds really good in the receive here. And, it sure make things a lot easier a lot of times on my end. I've got some static crashes going on here. We're supposed to get some weather tonight. So if every once in a while I'm able to get it, it's because the weather is starting to head our direction. And the other thing we're asking tonight, Glenn, I don't know if you heard or not, is if you've ever used FT8 and why you have or why you haven't used FT8.
Well, I set it up on the computer in this radio just to see what all the excitement was about, because all my friends around the Dayton area there are playing with it, and every time I look at the DX cluster, all the 074 frequencies are all lit up. And I think it's an okay mode. I'm not real impressed with it myself, because you don't have to do any work like we're doing here, adjusting radios and talking and making sure antennas are working correctly and stuff. You just push a button and off you go. I like to actually make the contact like this, either here or CW. So I'm not really impressed. It is a halfway decent mode if you want to make contact, I suppose. But that's my 2 cents.
Okay, well that's what we're looking for. There's no wrong or right answer, of course. It's just your answer. Again, I've done it off and on the last couple of weeks, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, and so forth, on my 7300 down in the other shack, and on this radio here. And it's not something that I would devote 100% of my time to. I have had it on, and we're doing other things in the shack, and I've heard that on several other hams as well, who have mentioned that, yeah, they'll have it on, but they may be doing other things and glancing over from time to time and what have you. Would be kind of interesting. So For me, the jury's still out. I have a hard time talking about something unless I try it, and we want to try to maybe look at it a little bit more and just kind of see if we see a pattern of the same operators all the time, or what availability there is for DX and so forth. So we're gonna continue to kind of look at it at our pace. But again, it's the information that's out there, and I know there are a lot of new hams that are just getting into phone that may be interested as well. So again, we like to get the first party experiences of people who have used it or why they haven't used it and so forth, and maybe that might help some others as well. There, Roger.
Yeah, I'm always willing to help and stuff like that. There's another mode that's in the same protocol, which is JSA call, similar to PSK. Little short sentences, but it's still keyboard to keyboard, so you have that sense of what we're doing here, where FT8, you can actually be out of the room and make a contact with that. That's the non-selling point to me. But the JSA call is kind of fun. PSK is kind of fun. But I mostly like phone and CW, so maybe I'm just an old stick in the mud.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. I think these new modes are out there running because it may attract other segments of hams and so forth. And that's fine. I certainly have nothing against any of the modes, any RTTY, any digital modes, and so forth. I kind of like the phone, as you can tell. I like to talk on the air, but we certainly like to see what the other opportunities are out there in amateur radio, and that's one of them. And again, we've been playing with it off and on, so we just thought tonight, kind of an informal type of poll and get people's thoughts and what they liked about it or didn't like about it or what have you. And again, we do appreciate the information you give us. And it's nice to work a portable. We were going to wait till the bottom of the hour to call out, but you beat me to the punch there. Go ahead.
Well, I've been playing with this setup from the house and have it hooked up to the RV and different radio configurations and stuff like that. So it is portable, but not really, I guess.
Well, if it's not tied to the house, to me that makes it portable. In my book, anyhow, we're looking at doing that here in a couple of weeks. We're planning to put some logistics together to do a couple of portable operations and live stream at the same time. We're trying to work all that out. It'll be totally battery and won't be plugged into a outlet. It won't be run off a generator. We're going to run strictly battery. We're giving that a go, and we're trying to get all the like I said, the rest of the logistics set up, and I'm thinking it's going to be fun, and we're going to see if everybody can kind of figure out where we might be. Not sure how well it's going to take off, but we're going to give it a go anyway there. Go ahead.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, too. I'll try to listen around for you. I don't know where it will be, but I'll try to listen anyway.
Yeah, I think we're going to probably put out what they call it, a premiere or something that they do here on YouTube that kind of gives people an idea of the date and the time. That's what we're looking at. We've got a few more things we need to get ironed out on the systems to make sure they work the best. We're also working on the antennas as well. We want to have it set up for 40 and 20, and so we got some variety there. So we'll see how it goes, but we're looking forward to it. But again, that's a portable op in my book there where you're at there in the RV. I think it's working out terrific, and the vertical is definitely doing a nice job. So we do appreciate you giving us a call this evening. And again, I don't see a contact, but I do appreciate you giving us a call this evening, Glenn. We try to be out here on a nightly basis here on 40 meters now, about 7 o'clock Central for a few hours. And we also are live on YouTube. So if you're interested in listening to our QSO on the playback, you can go to YouTube and put in my call sign in the search bar and look for the video with today's date on it, of course. And about 40 minutes in, we get you pretty close when we started our QSO. But give a look and listen and see what you think there, Roger.
Okay, I will. And we're kind of in a set of hills down here in Amish country, so there's not a lot of internet connections, or there would be a contact. So as soon as I get to somewhere where the internet's working a little bit, we'll do it there.
Yeah, like I said, it's live, but it also records as well, so it'll be sitting there. It doesn't disappear, I don't think, anytime soon. We've done this now for several months, and even the first one we did into January is still up on the YouTube channel. So, but that's okay. Like I said, the big thing is it's the channel's under my call sign, and today's data court. Give a look and a listen, see what you think when you get some internet service, and we're having fun with it. I think others as well. Glenn, thanks again for giving us a call. We'll move on down here a little bit so we can make a few contacts. Be safe and be well out there in the RV, and hope to hear you again real soon. Kilo Charlie 8, Lima Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again. Have a good evening.
Okay, Randy, we'll have a lot of fun there, and sure was nice meeting you. And once we get to some internet, we'll check it out and give you a contact. K0RWB KC8LA 73, Randy.
Okay, 73. Thank you again, and we'll clear with him. A while ago, there was a Whiskey Alpha 4 station. If you're still in there, can you give me your complete call, please?
There's a Whiskey Alpha 4 Norway United Norway.
Well, there was another one ended in Delta. You stand by real quick. Let me have the Whiskey Alpha 4 November question mark.
WA4NUN, WA4 Norway United Norway.
Got you that time, Paul. I didn't know the Whiskey Alpha 4s were that popular, but apparently so. Hey, thanks for giving us a call this evening. The name here is Randy. The QTH, we're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and we're also streaming live on YouTube tonight. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me make sure you're in contact with me and not a station there. I wasn't real sure. This is WA4NUN. Just want to make sure we're established QSO.
Well, I hope so. If you're in Woodstock, Georgia, or thereabouts, Paul.
Yeah, somewhere close to that. I'm actually in what they call the Hickory Flat community, which is about 10 miles east of Woodstock. But, you got to get the mail somewhere. And I apologize for the voice. It's about gone today. But thank you very much for giving us a call back. Good signal here coming into the area. And thank you very much. Handle this call, Peter Alfonso Lima. And you already know where I'm at. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, if I can type them in correctly, the logger is pretty good about getting the information up as long as the internet is working. That's the other downside of living in the country. You're a suspect to the internet deciding to have a mind of its own. We seem to have a glitch or two every evening when we're live streaming. It hasn't happened yet, but I have a feeling at some point it'll start acting up. But so far, so good. And we've had pretty much a nightly contact into Georgia, North Georgia, Atlanta, and North. A couple in Athens, Dawsonville. We've had that, Rome, in that area. A couple in Mariana even last evening. So it's nice to hear that the band has been fairly consistent, and it's not terribly long, at least in my neck of the woods. And that's totally okay. There are tons and tons of operators within 600 to 700 miles of me at my QTH. And if we have a chance to talk up to them all, we will there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, very good. Just want to let you know I heard you. Thought I'd give you a call. Audio very good, signal very good, S9 and plus 5 or 10 and maybe a little bit plus that time to time. And let you get on and make some more contacts. My voice is just not good tonight. Need to do a little bit to get some menthol or something down there so they can talk a little bit more. But thanks so much for returning our call. And we're just running a ICOM 7610 with been playing switcheroo with microphones, and we've kind of backed up from the 781 to the ICM. Seems to do a better job for us overall, and we're working on putting EQ in place to where no matter what the microphone is, hopefully it's going to sound good. So long-term project, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get it done. Go ahead, and thank you so much.
Oh, not pleasure at all. And not uncommon on the 7610 with the two different microphones. We have a 7300 that's in an alternate shack. My friend Todd has named the shack Studio A and Studio B, and so the 7300 is in Studio B paired with an ICM microphone, and they do seem to match up real good with ICOM equipment, and we've gotten some good reports of that as well. We do use that location on occasions if the YL, whose office is next to mine, if she has conference calls or what have you, or Zoom calls, so to speak, we don't want to interrupt or have any feedback in the background, so we'll go down to Studio B with the 7300. We are able to tie into all the antennas that we are using here. So other than power settings, everything is kind of about the same. But the ICM is a great mic. We're running the PR781 on this. This is the Yaesu FTDX10, and both microphones work quite well. For this, the 7610 was a little better. It didn't work really good on the 7300, but the ICM did. So there's a place for everything, Paul. I know you want to save your voice, but I still wanted to say thank you for giving us a call this evening. And we try to be out here on a nightly basis during the week. Where this is night 2, we're doing good so far. So by golly, if you hear us again, by all means, give us a call, and we'll kind of see what's going on in your world and kind of pick it up where we left off. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening. A great week. Be safe and be well, and hope to work you again very, very soon. Whiskey Alpha 4, November Uniform November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, 7-3s.
40 Whiskey Bravo, WA4NUN. Thank you so much for giving us a call back. And just wanted to get some shout outs here, and we're trying to tune up the voice feedback on the radio. We're probably going to be not able to look at the screen here. I'm doing a little eye surgery tomorrow, and trying to get in practice for doing that. So finally going to get rid of this one nasty cataract I've been holding out on for a couple of years. But nevertheless, thank you so much for giving us a call back. Have a great evening, great tomorrow, and great rest of the week. Thank you so much. WA4NUN.
Okay, no problem at all. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. QRZ. Any other stations? Come with your call, please.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Whiskey Charlie Delta.
Whiskey Alpha 4, Whiskey Charlie Delta. Hey, good evening, George. A lot of Whiskey Alpha 4 stations tonight, so we must be making it into your part of the world. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're 5 9 plus 20 about, and we are located near Lexington in central Kentucky. Over.
Okay, 5 minutes. Would you, you're over by Winchester, is that a Roger?
Well, actually, we're in Winchester, yes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Well, it's not a long jaunt as the crow flies. Again, the name here is Randy, the QTH. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, a little town called Bates City, Missouri, like Bates Motel kind of thing. So if I usually tell people, they shake their head and they say, "What did he say?" So I just tell them we're a little bit we're a little bit east of Kansas City, and they kind of shake their head and go, "Oh yeah, I know where that's at." But we do know Lexington. Been through there many times over the years. Haven't been into Winchester. But we have been over to Paris, we've been to Hillsboro, Owningsville, been through that area, but never had the opportunity to get into Winchester. But we do appreciate you giving us a call this evening. And nice signal report back to you. Good 5 and 7, 5 and 8, and nice audio as well there. Go ahead.
Okay, we're probably about halfway between Lexington and Winchester, about 8 miles either way. And we're out in the country. And listening to your previous conversations with respect to FT8 and that sort of thing, we have not tried that yet. Plan on it someday, but right now we're overwhelmed with the 7610 and its technology. We're trying to learn how to use it. Over.
I can certainly understand that. again, we've got the 7300, and we haven't. I don't think we scratched the surface of what that radio does. And I'm sure you're dealing with that on the 7610. That was in the final made the final cut. That rig, the 7300, the Yaesu 101D, and then the Yaesu FTDX10. And I had another radio years past that had dual VFOs and receivers, and I never used it. And I just thought maybe my money would be better spent on a radio that didn't have the dual receive VFO. So the 7610 and the 101 kind of were really in the running per se. So we ended up with a 7300 end of January, and then about 4 or 5 weeks later, we picked up the FTDX10. So this is what we have here in Studio A, as they call it, and in Studio B downstairs is the 7300. Both terrific radios. They do things a little bit differently, and they do operate quite well, and we're happy with both. But we use this one up here in Studio A, and it makes it a little easier for us to display the radio display on our channel there. Roger.
I'm just barely getting back involved with the hobby. Took a hiatus after went to college and have retired now, and so we're just getting back on our feet with some awesome technology, I guess is the best way I can put it over.
Yeah, it really is. It's